I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Architect Akhil Noel, Principal Architect, ANC. Architect Akhil is a Chennai-based architect graduated from HCU, Padu, having a practice for the last 7 years. His notable awards are Most Promising and Innovative Architect 2020, Excellence in Architecture and Interior Design Awards, Most Promising Young Architect 2020, Chennai Design Icon Awards. Let us now proceed to Architect Akhil's presentation.
I'm very glad to be a part of SRM SciCon Best 2021. I thank Dean Mr. Satish Kumar for this effort and the convener Mrs. Pratibha. And I thank all the other faculties of SRM University and the students who have been a very vital part of this program. It is very nice to be a part of such a virtual event. It is not easy to organize such a big event in a virtual manner, getting different people, following them up, coordinating with everybody, and getting these sessions recorded. That is a tremendous effort, and I would like to thank the faculty in charge of that and the students who are doing an amazing job editing the videos also. I would like to introduce myself as Akwin Noel. I'm a practicing architect from Chennai. I run a practice in the name Akwin Noel Design Commune, started in the year 2013. We primarily do a lot of institutional projects, commercials, we've done theaters, and we are expanding in several verticals. Today, I would like to discuss my opinions and my insight on the topic, a timeline of art and architecture. See, as young designers and students of architecture, we always have a little bit of, I don't know if it is the right word, but we do have a little bit of inhibition to showcase our work. So that is something which I have seen amidst a lot of students. You know, everybody has this feeling and this doubt if their work is good enough or not. Is it up to the mark? Can we display it out? So, you know, first things first, we all have to understand that apart from architecture being a very professional course and everything, it is all about the childlike inquisitiveness inside you. You know, you have to be curious. It is about being an artist inside. You have to have this fearless way of experimenting. You should be able to think and do whatever you want. See, there is this phrase which says beauty is in the eye of the viewer. No? It's more or less like that. There is nothing called good design, bad design. There are no rules for us to do design. All we have here is guidelines. We have guidelines of how to proceed with design, but there are no set rules that this is how something should be done, this is how something should not be done. So, taking that into mind, what you do and what you find very convincing and impressive might not be very impressive to somebody else. But at the same time, what you do not find impressive might be impressive to someone else also. So it's all about tastes. So the first step to boldly evolve as a young architect is to not be inhibited by your work. So that is why I chose this topic to see how art and architecture has changed through the times, and there is so much of variety and verticals and transformations that which has happened through the time. So before I get into the official presentation, I would like to say a few notes about this timeline and change that which has happened in architecture. See, theoretically recorded architecture qualification has been into existence only in the past 2.5 centuries. Getting a Bachelor of Architecture degree or Masters in Architecture degree, that has been into practice only for the past 250 years and so on from the West. But we have been looking at structures in a timeless nature, right from the Roman Colosseum till date. There has been so much we have learned from the masters from history. So, who are these architects? Just because they are not qualified in our terms doesn't mean that they are not architects. They are the masters. They are the people from whom we have learned, we have understood what we should be doing also. So back in the time, artists were the architects. You know, everything. There was art in every possible medium of life, and artists played a very vital role in the shaping of the society. Artists were performance artists, they were painters, they were architects, and they did every possible thing. And so, through the timeline, politics, culture, and mainstream thought process of different people has greatly shaped how artists express themselves. And artistic expression was not only what they have understood and what their inference was, but it was also something which they wanted to plant mainstream. And that is something which they wanted people to think about also. So now let me get into the presentation. Uh, I hope you are able to see my screen right now. See, there is this saying which says, to really appreciate architecture, you may even need to commit a murder. See, architecture is defined by the actions it witnesses as much as the enclosure of its walls. So, what do we understand from this mere frame? Thoughts of people are different, and how we perceive architecture is different. Art has been a political statement throughout times. Let us say, for example, look at what has happened through times in times of war. Let me play a brief history.
Ever wondered why go to an architect or what is history of architecture? The humans needed a shelter against the wilderness. They either caved in or dug out to only build walls with no openings and densely packed like anthills. They feared the death and hence to live longer, they built monuments for their loved ones. This was the age of architecture for need. Rivers nourished life and agriculture and hence communities thrived along their banks. Here, the lack of wood was replaced by abundance of clay and limestone, exploring the structures of height and permanence. The pyramids still standing the test of time. Around the same time, many civilizations emerged and began to prosper. The Mediterranean Sea helped exchange trade and culture among such civilizations. It was now the age of war and power. Architecture now defined authority, which the Greeks showed it through their pillars and structures. Parthenon was built. The Romans took over, showing the world how to span between those two pillars. Arches, walls and domes introduced a new vocabulary into architecture. Parallelly, there were other civilizations working on another dimension, bringing in variety. India and China brimmed with hope. This was the age of development. By the beginning of the new millennium, Roman Empire was expanding towards the east, embracing new cultures. Interlocking different forms of cubes and spheres into a unified entity would soon define the architecture of the next generation. Expansive empires required more guarding of their ownership. Sturdier walls, semicircular arches, flag-hoisting peaks defined Romanesque. To reach out to more people through religion, stories were told on stained glass and sculptures on walls. Gothic brought in public art. This art was now used in reviving the elements of Greek and Roman architecture. Renaissance was the age of awakening, putting emphasis on symmetry and pattern. Pointed verticals, four-centered arches, wittiness, emphasis on aesthetics stepped in through Tudor. This also led to the end of medieval architecture, giving way to new era of style and opulence. Art was now overused and pompous. It was only during the Art Deco that an eclectic style of combining traditional craft motifs to a machine-age imagery happened and led to a new revolution of questioning the traditional patterns and their functionality. Form now followed a function, putting emphasis on minimalism and driving a soul into today's modern architecture.
presentation of how history of architecture has evolved. And now I would like to return back to my slides. So this is a timeline which shows how architecture and art hand in hand has evolved. So throughout time, as art has evolved, architecture has also followed very similar styles. So there has been several aspects such as cultural factors and political factors influencing the thought of people, what was going on in the minds of the mainstream public, and that was always represented by artists in their works of art. Say, for example, brutalism. Brutalism comes up into picture only after wars, and that shows an expression of aggressiveness, anger, and insecurity. Say, similarly, in the 1800s, when there is a catch in the archaeological field, when people start experimenting better in the archaeological field, and mainstream attention gets into archaeology, a lot of people started to recreate and re-establish the detailings that which were done in the Greek and the Roman period. So that gave rise to neoclassicism, and so on. Each and every time frame, whatever we have been seeing through, has shown a clear transformation between artwork and architecture. So right now we are seeing Bauhaus art. So here we see simple geometric shapes, simple colors, and Bauhaus buildings show the same. So what was there as an artistic statement, artistic movement, was also translated into architecture. It showed less of complexity. It showed simple shapes and clarity of thought. So this was a typical Bauhaus building. It is something which has no ornamentation or nothing in addition than what which was structurally essential and required alone. So this collage shows work of the Art Deco times. There was a lot of ornamentation, a lot of decorative motifs, and there was certain funkiness to it. And this particular transition was shown in buildings in detailings in terms of pattern, balance, harmony, etc. This was brutalist art. So brutalist art always showed sorrow, agony, and a certain nature of being affected. And brutalist architecture represented the same. This is neoclassical. So during neoclassical times, clarity of thought, detailing, way of life, and Greek and Roman heritage was often represented, and that detail has also been translated majestically into buildings of those times. This is the reason postmodern art. So in postmodernism forsake modernism. It said that modernism is no longer alive, and in postmodernism there was so much of fresh thought. The idea of showing literally anything as an expression evolved in postmodernism, and postmodernist architecture did the same. Postmodernist architecture broke all the rules that which was played by earlier. This is Baroque art, so where there was extreme detail, realistic nature of detailing, and this detailing was also represented in the architecture. This is Surreal art. Surreal art showed totally disproportionate thought. It showed people were very disturbed. Surrealist artworks started after the Second World War, and people were often representing thoughts that were out of the box. People felt that they were no longer confined, and they kept showing artistic depictions of how things have gone out of proportion. So this is an translation of surreal art into architecture. So these are certain surreal arts, and these are certain surreal fantasies showing how architecture could be. So this is a typical representation showing art styles on the same image of how the artistic representations have been. So throughout times, as we see, there is one thing which we can clearly understand. The conclusion is that masters of architecture during different timelines have always understood what was in the mind of people. See, today, when we look at recent architecture, the architecture that we practice has mixture. we all do whatever we feel like doing, however we feel like doing. Today, our accumulative knowledge of the past, accumulative knowledge of history of architecture, that which we have, anybody can practice any style of architecture. There is a particular person practicing vernacular architecture, when another one practices completely neoclassical architecture, another person can do totally contemporary out of box designs. So today there is no restriction. But whereas in the past, before the era of modern architecture, there has always been a certain set of rules or certain guidelines which were always followed by people of that particular period. So, in a certain space, in a certain time frame, there was a certain way and methodology in which constructions happened, and the detailings were always abiding to that. Today, we have evolved beyond that, and today we are able to adapt to any taste, taking inspirations from all of that which we have seen in the past. So I would like to conclude that the crux is always about understanding what the mainstream public want, what people feel is important, and how far you are convinced as an architect doing the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Noel, for your presentation. I believe that the audience have enjoyed your presentation.
This is my life. This is my space. Work, rest and play, and live smart my way. This is my day. Only the best for me, no other way. Forget yesterday. Dreams they do come true now that I've found you. Memories forever. Let's live smart together.
EPCO fittings that help you live smart.
Epoxy adhesives are widely used in the industry because of their high strength, chemical resistance, and the ability to adhere to different surfaces. But almost all of them have low impact strength and low UV resistance, which makes them weak after long-term use, under stress and limitations. To combat all these issues, we are introducing Bondtite Pro. Bondtite Pro is a high-performance two-component multi-use new generation epoxy adhesive system with room temperature curing. It has very high impact strength, excellent shear strength, better UV resistance, better coverage, and so much more. And it is to be used for bonding various similar and dissimilar materials such as metals, ceramics, wood, leather, rubber, marble, glass, and a lot of other materials. Bondtite Pro is very easy to use. The directions to use are really simple. Step 1. Clean the surface and make sure it is free of dust, unsound material, loose plaster, oil, paint, grease, algae, and corrosion deposits. Step 2. Take equal quantity of part A and part B. Step 3. Mix it for 1 minute with the help of Bondtite applicator to attain uniform color. Step 4. Apply on the surface. Step 5. Clamp or support the surface for 4 hours. It will attain full strength in 24 hours. And that's all there is to it. You can use it for speakers, marble pasting, automobile repair, and hardwood handicraft. Bondtite Pro.
Regular cement takes 28 days to make an airstrip. This one just took 4. Yes, it is the technology of the future, brought to us today by Dalmia Cement. And I'm building my house with the same.
Dalmia Cement. Future today.
I'm a forest ranger and I don't allow any interference in the jungles. But this wildlife corridor was needed, so we built it with the world's greenest cement, Dalmia. And now I'm building my own house with the same.
Dalmia Cement. Future today.
An 8-foot slab of concrete that can take a load of 500 tons, moving at such speed. Yes, it's the technology of the future. Brought to us today by the pioneers of sleeper cement, Dalmia. And I'm building my house with the same.
Dalmia Cement. Future today.
Ultratech FireSafe helps in passive fire protection with its carefully chosen mixed constituents which can withstand high elevated temperatures. Central Building Research Institute CBRI Roorkee has certified Ultratech FireSafe with 2 hours fire rating to the system when tested in accordance with IS 3809 1970, reaffirmed 2002. Benefits to the end customer. First, low use of energy as concrete does not require mechanical vibrator, thus it saves cost. Second, it has excellent insulating from electrical, HT and LT cable. Duct sand gives extra life to the structure. Third, since it is lightweight, it results in considerable saving from the footings through the structural steel. Fourth, it helps in controlling the fire spread and its effect by providing sufficient fire resistance to prevent loss of structural stability within the prescribed time period of 2 hours or more. Thus, it gives enough time for the customer to evacuate and call for help in case of fire. Benefits to the applicator and technical influencer. First, Ultratech FireSafe concrete can be applied over a variety of bases, allowing architects and engineers ample flexibility in their design criteria. Second, this concrete is used for fire insulation of multiple products such as electrical, HT and LT cable ducts. Third, the application process is easy since it's a ready-to-use and easy-to-place product. Fourth, it is easily portable due to 40% lighter than normal concrete. Ultratech FireSafe is a vermiculite-based concrete designed for passive fire protection. It is delivered at site in the form of wet mix in buckets. This concrete is used to seal the cable ducts at floor levels. Before arrival of concrete at the site, formwork arrangements should be in place as per recommended procedure. This formwork is normally made out of plywood and bison board. The concrete shall be poured over these boards, which are fastened at the floor level. Concrete shall be laid in layer of minimum 100 mm thickness. After leveling and finishing the concrete, it shall be covered with tarpaulin sheets in order to prevent any cracking.
Welcome to the course Color Psychology. The first module, the background of color, will give you an overview of multiple perceptions in color. We will learn about the scientific background.
I have scientific proof that white light is composed of 7 component colors.
Understand basics of color theory. Take inspirations from colors in nature.
Context matters, you know.
Teleport to different time zones to get historical perspectives of color.
Is Greek architecture devoid of color?
Isn't it completely wide?
And finally, dig deep into the human mind to get psychological perspectives of color. We will then go on to explore color in various spatial typologies of architecture and interiors. A transition from theory to practice would happen in the last module on practice and application of color. The journey would be immersive with fun quizzes and activities along the way. Join us in this colorful, fun-filled journey.
This is Amit and I am a proprietor of Metro Books, and our firm is a 12-year-old firm located in Delhi, and we have our head office in Delhi, and we have our 2 branch offices. One is in Pune and another one is in Chennai. So we are dealing in architecture and engineering books, and our core specialization is for engineering books, engineering and architecture books. We have our specialization in architecture planning, interior design, animation, facility design planning, digital architecture and construction project management, urban design, etc. So as you see, there are different books we have in our offices. So let me tell you, explain you the different books here. Like we have books for different publishers like Thames, Anderson, Lawrence King, etc., MIT Press. So you can see here in this rack that like all these books are very basic books, and most of the books are into various universities syllabus, and also there are some civil titles are also there, like the Seavers one, like the Passive and Low Energy, and you can again see here some very basic books required for all universities. And you can see here the books in this rack is for Wiley, and this is a US based publisher, very renowned publisher, and publishing books on various subjects, and very famous books they have published. So that, and we are directly procuring from this publisher, and you can see these are the books by Design Media, and again this is a very famous publisher for design books and architecture books. And like I have told you that we are into the publishing field also, and we have published few titles on architecture subject, and some more titles also we are going to publish in next year, and this year also we are going to publish few titles, and we are still working on those titles to get it published within this year. Like one is for planning, and other one is for architecture, and one is for history of architecture. So these are the fields which we are planning this year. And you can see here the books based on design. This is again a very famous publisher for design books, and name of the publisher is Sandpoints. So that's this publisher is from China, and again you can see some more books for Link publishers, and that is again also a US publisher. Again you can see some book published by Actor Publisher, and you can see some Archibald books are also there. That's again a very Korean publisher. Again some books are for links for different on housing, digital architecture, on housing, roofs, etc. And here you can see the books for European publishers. So all these books are for European publishers. So these are the books I have just shown you, and we are try to cover each and every subject relating to architecture, especially in publishing also. So that's all from my side. Thank you.